Are you a DevOps engineer wanting to get started with your journey towards MLOps, LLMOps, and in general AI platform engineering? This video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to analyze a LinkedIn job on LLMOps and break down the skills and show you what is the journey that you can take starting with DevOps into the world of LLM, GenAI, Agentic AI, and the operationalizing part of it. And I'm going to do all of this using ChatGPT. So I'll show you the approach that I'm using so that you can try the same to carve your own personalized journey. Hi, my name is Gaurav Shah, and welcome to the Real Ops Reactor, where we help you build real world ops skills. Let's get started. So I'm picking up a LLM Ops engineer for GenAI platform. So it is kind of a GenAI platform engineer kind of a role. And this is the job post that I am going to analyze it with you without disclosing the actual company and all that, because we are just analyzing the job post and breaking down the skills, which is what the objective of this particular video is. So what I've done here is put this description of the job and ask ChatGPT to analyze the job post and build a roadmap for a DevOps engineer. That's what we begin with, and that's what matters for us, right? And it has already done so. And this should give you a good, solid understanding of what skills you already have, which are useful. That's number one. And secondly, what is it you are going to take to get it to, or to maybe apply to this job and succeed in it, right? And the good news is, if you look at it has given me stage by stage breakdown of what are the skills required and approximately a timeline of about 7 months to get there. The good news is a lot of this is already something that you, in terms of the foundation, you already may know about. So about 2 months time, you can definitely save up on it and maybe spend 3 to 4 months to master rest of the skills. And depending on how much time you spend, it might be faster or slower, right? And the good thing is, if you look at the stage one talks about everything cloud and DevOps, because a lot of times when you are talking about cloud, AI platform engineering or ML platform engineering, ultimately it is a lot of operational and DevOps skills matter there, and of course the cloud engineering part of it, right? So if you talk about the stage one, it talks about building the foundation on cloud and DevOps and cloud platforms such as AWS, GCP, Azure, foundations of this. Again, if you look at fundamentals, especially the IAM, networking, security groups, cost management and stuff like that, right? And this is exactly what we teach in our, let's say, AWS bootcamp. Only the 5 foundational aspects that includes the VPC or networking. We spend a lot of time understanding or making you understand that compute, database, order scaling, and the storage part of it, right? Next is containers and orchestration. Again, containers and orchestration is essential topic that everyone must know about. And if you are a DevOps engineer, I'm assuming that you already master these things. And that includes image building, multi-stage Docker files, multi-stage Docker builds, security best practices related to Docker files. So how do you write secure Docker file, like maybe using user instead of root user, using Trivy scans and equivalent. Now Docker has this Docker Scout tool. So those are the technologies you should know about. And Kubernetes basics, again, namespaces, deployments, pods, replica sets, services, storage, RBAC policies, ingress. Yeah, so that's what is enumerated here. So again, your existing DevOps knowledge is going to be very, very useful out here. I can tell you that in the journey towards MLOps or LLMOps, either of that. CI/CD pipeline wise, you should know about, you can get started with Jenkins, but in today's world, I would say pick either GitHub Actions or GitLab CI. It's going to be super useful for you. Infrastructure as a code wise, Terraform is the facto standard in the world of IAC today. And you should start not only, if you already know about Terraform, you should start understanding how you could use AI to write the Terraform code using tools like Cursor, MCP servers, and maybe newer generation IDEs like Kiro by Amazon. And I do have a recently published course on the same, how do you use AI augmented infrastructure as a code. I'm going to share the links to all these courses in the description below if you want to gain access to it. Observability, again, Prometheus Grafana is the standard. Logging with ELK, EFK, but you can also use something like Loki now with Grafana for logging, and that's quite useful. And you do some hands-on project to kind of solidify your knowledge. That's the foundational stage. Now we move to the second stage, where we go from DevOps to MLOps. And this is the reason when I started building my content, I had the DevOps content already, and that's when I started building stuff on MLOps first before getting into LLM, because you need to start building the foundation on ML AI, understand what ML is all about. Even if today's applications are mostly focused on LLMs and writing API wrappers on top of that, you need to start with the foundational technologies, and that's where ML and MLOps comes in. What should you master? ML lifecycle, like what is training, fine-tuning, evaluation, deployment, monitoring, right? And tools like MLflow, maybe something like Kubeflow, MetaFlow, and data and model versioning, if you want to dive deeper into it. Some sort of deployment patterns, like if you're doing with Docker and Kubernetes, it's standard deployment like we do with any other application. And maybe some sort of a model serving, Seldon, Ray, Bento, one of these technologies if you want to understand how it is deployed, and build some hands-on project related to that. That's kind of you spend 2 to 3 months on learning ML ops there. And then you get into the specialized roles or specialization towards LLM and LLM ops, where you start understanding what is GenAI, and then later on agentic workflows, right? And when it comes to LLM basics, you start with the types of models, like what are the types of frontier models, we can call it, like GPT, Mistral, DeepSeek, and Claude, and Llama, and those are the open source models. Now we also have open source GPT that you can try. You can also use something like Docker Offload to run these models and try these out if there are large models that you cannot fit onto your laptop. So you have technologies now which you can use for learning these faster and with the least amount of resources and cost. And that's where you understand API integrations, because most of the LLM applications are just API wrappers, right? And they, in the backend, they use some sort of a model, mostly these hosted models like OpenAI and whatnot, but sometimes also locally hosted models like Llama and Mistral and others. And what is prompt engineering? What is a context window? What are the tokens, the token efficiency? Because the amount of token translates into the amount of cost you're going to spend on the backend API side. So that is something you need to learn how to optimize it and use it wisely and use it when needed. So those are the techniques that you may want to understand and get into when it comes to LLM essentials. And then you start understanding some sort of agentic frameworks. And how do you support those, basically, because you're not necessarily writing all this code, but supporting it, deploying it. Ultimately, everything runs as containers. So you will have some sort of a Docker file, Docker Compose file, Kubernetes, and so on. You should also understand what are Retrieval-Augmented Generation technologies, vector DBs to support it, hybrid and multi-LLM orchestration, and some sort of model serving optimization techniques. So that's something you can get into eventually. Those are advanced techniques where you can optimize or fine-tune, not fine-tune, but make it more specific. There are different types of fine-tuning techniques, including something like low rank adaptation, LoRA, and whatnot. Those are cheaper, and there's quantization is like compressing, like JPEG for the model, and so on. And you build some projects related to it so that you have a good understanding of the LLM ops as well, right? So stage one, as I said, is solidifying your DevOps and cloud foundations. Stage two is to transition into MLOps. From there, you transition into LLM ops and agentic workflows. And you should learn a bit about governance, security. So you apply DevSecOps principles to the agentic workflows or to the GenAI applications as well. You understand the governance framework, you understand the security in LLM ops, like secure API gateways. Again, a lot of that goes back to your DevOps knowledge. Data encryptions, OWASP for LLM applications, and what are the kind of vulnerabilities out there, and how do we mitigate those? How do you detect hallucination? That's one of the key challenges with LLMs and GenAI. Toxicity, drift, integration with observability stacks like Prometheus, Grafana, custom alerts, and you may want to do some hands-on project. And overall, if you look at this journey, I would assume this is more like a part-time journey. Part-time learning is 1 to 2 months on core DevOps and cloud, about 3 to 4 months on MLOps, but I would say you can do that in 2 months and 2 more months maybe for LLM ops. So around 4-5 months, you can be ready for these kind of positions. What this also means is in future, if you want to get started or transition into new generation of roles, which I believe is very important for all the DevOps engineers to consider, because with the AI is going to impact everyone's job roles, and you should start diversifying your skills is what I have been talking about this year. And one of the things that you get into is AI platform engineering, MLOps, MLOps, LLMOps, Agentic AI, or Agentic Ops, whatever you may want to call it, that side. The other side is using AI into DevOps work, so AI-augmented DevOps engineering, as well as what I call as a Bionic DevOps, or moving towards automating DevOps work using AI agents. That's more like getting into development, platform engineering side, and getting into building the automation, next level of automation beyond DevOps to using AI and building the AI agents for DevOps is like the future. So if you want to get ready for this, I believe this is a good roadmap for you that you can get started with and consider. And that's about how you can go from DevOps to MLOps and LLMOps. And rather than me showing you this, you can just copy my method here and take any job role, paste it in ChatGPT, ask it to give it a roadmap. Even better would be to create a project with ChatGPT if you have a paid version. And I would recommend you consider one of the paid versions for one of the AIs. And there you can provide context. Context can be your actual profile, the existing profile with your skills built into it, so that it can give you a more personalized journey rather than this being a more generic one. I hope you found this useful. If you like this content and want to see more such content into your feed, consider subscribing and liking it. And if you want to get an ad-free version of this content along with the text copy, consider subscribing to realops.co. This is Gaurav Shah from RealOps Reactor signing off. I'll see you in another one. Bye-bye.